Hey, yo, it's your boy Los. Got a question for you, right? Well, as usual, I have a story, then a question. And I'm really curious, man, to hear y'all's feedback on this. I really want to hear, either you can do a video about it or you can, leave a comment. I'm really curious to hear about this. I really want to know how this turns out. All right, so a couple of years back, right, we had just bought this car. And so I was at work doing security, and I have a hole or a scar, right, in my left lung. So whenever I get sick, whether it be the flu, a common cough, whatever it is I get, right, I automatically have to medicate myself because of this scar in my lung. It'll lead. It always, well, things are always, but many times it's led to pretty serious respiratory situations and everything, issues for me, and can't breathe, and I'm in the ER. It's bad, right? So I kind of take care of myself a little different because of such, right? Which is why never mind. Anyways, and so I'm at work, and all of a sudden, right, I just kind of felt different, right? And I kind of felt it coming on. And I was like, oh, snap. And I'm like, I didn't have, any medication with me or whatever. So my first thought was, I'm going to head to the hospital, get some antibiotics to get the party started, before this becomes bigger than what it is, right? Or what it needs to be, right? So get in the car, and I'm driving, and I'm not thinking really. I'm driving. Like I said, we just bought this car, brand new car, insurance, everything's up to date. We good. I'm just driving, not speeding, nothing. And I get to the red light, and I look up, and there's a cop behind me, right? And I say, oh, whatever. Nothing crossed my mind about anything. And then right before we take off from the red light, I look up again, and there's another cop behind me. And I'm like, okay, that's all right. And so I start driving, and we get to another red light, and I just I'm not trying to be obvious that I'm looking, so I kind of look up, and then I kind of just lean over and just look at my side mirror, and then I look at my other mirror as well, and I see now there's a total of 4 cops behind me, right? And I'm like, okay, what's the deal, right? What's going on? And once again, we good. Like this, the temp tags were still on the car at the time, right? That's how new this was, and so there's nothing that would have warranted me to have cops behind me, cops looking for me, looking at me, right? So we're driving, and then so I get to 3 more lights I have to go to, and they're still back there. So now, of course, the cops behind me, I'm driving even slower than I was before. I was already driving slow. Now I'm driving even slower than that, right? And then we get to this other light, and it's green, mind you, right? Even though it's green, I got the right of way. I still slowed up mad slow to this light, looked to the left, then made to my right, right? I'm following every step known to man to avoid problems. Make that right, they make that right. I'm like, oh, okay. And we're off kind of a busy street. Now we're on the side street, whatever, going by the hospital. And I'm driving, it's 30, I believe. So I'm hitting 25. Hey. And so there's another street I could turn to go to the hospital, but I'm like, let me see. So, but I turn this other street, so I make a left. They made that left. So I'm scratching my head. I'm nervous, right? And it's crazy. I'm nervous at this point, right? And we're driving by the hospital, and once again we're on the back street, so it's 30 miles per hour. So I'm doing 25, 26. They not trying to pass me. They are right with me. And get to the hospital, and I put my blinker on, I put my blinker on a mile ahead, man, mile before my street, man. And I turn, and then they keep going, right? Pull into the parking lot. I just kind of just sit there for a second. I just kind of just get quiet, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And go in, praise God, get checked out, everything cool, nothing pops off, right? And even to this day, man, that kind of stuff happens to me. Not as much now, I'm not gonna lie and say that, but it's happened. But my question I'm curious about, right, and this is definitely not on some, hashtag BLM, it's not on no white privilege, it's not on, anything, like that. But I am curious though, right? Does any other ethnic group have that same fear, right? And I know, shout out to my guy from work, I know he's going to say him as a black man, he's never had that fear, and I get that. I know, I'm sure not every African American can say they've had this fear or had this thought process go through their mind. But I'm curious though, because for majority of us, just keep it honest with you, and you hear the stories, majority of African Americans, and not just as of what's happened as of late, but as of late is what has brought this question to my mind. I'm curious though, because most African Americans, we do feel nervous. We do get, jittery and jumpy around when cops, just kind of get behind us or whatnot, because you never know how this is going to turn out, right? But I'm curious though, does any other ethnic group have this same concern? Does any other ethnic group, whites, Caucasian, same people, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, do you feel, knowing that you're clean, right? Knowing that everything in your life is going as it's supposed to go, knowing that you have done nothing wrong, the car is yours, it's registered, it's whatever, all your, as they say, all your ducks are in a row. Does any other ethnic group, when a cop gets behind them, wonder and worry what's going to happen? Or as you're driving, cop gets behind one or two, whatever cops, you say, oh, that's what's up. Wonder where they're going. You know what I'm saying? Didn't mean to be rude with that, just being straight. Do you say like, I wonder where they're going? Or you like, oh, it's whatever, cop, and keep going on with life? Or do you as well, she's pretty good, or does my daughter's threatening my life, or do you as well get nervous and start questioning what's going on? I'm just curious. I remember, and this once again, I'm not going here, but this something came to mind. I remember Pastor Matt Chandler from the Village Church out in Texas, one of my favorite pastors. He made reference to something a couple years back. He said, and this was him alluding to white privilege, and he said, there's conversations I don't have to have with my kids that my fellow brothers and sisters in the Lord, African American brothers and sisters in the Lord, have to have. Because I never had to have the conversation of, if the cops pull you over, how to conduct yourself. So I don't want to lie on him. It was something on the lines like that. Basically, he was alluding to the fact that he didn't have to sit down and have that one-on-one talk with his kids the way most African Americans have to do with our kids. Even my daughter, the other day, we had to put a fire out that was in her. It was a homeless lady that was out. And we ended up giving her, some care and whatever. And we ended up calling the cops because she did seem kind of, a little loopy. And my daughter was like, Dad, don't call the cops. She's 6, mind you. I'm like, what do you mean don't call the cops? No, it's for her good. She's like, no, they're going to grab her. They're going to put her in jail. And she just immediately went on this little quick rant. And we had to, remind her that all cops are not bad, baby girl. There's some really, really good cops. But like I said, we told her, if ever you're in trouble, call a cop. Call an officer. The cops are good. They're your friend. There's nothing wrong with cops. What I see, there is some bad ones, true, but for the most part, cops are good. And we had to just deal with that. But I'm just curious. Sorry, this long-winded rant a little bit. I'm just curious though, and I would love to see your videos. You want to do a video on this page? If you see it on Facebook, do a video. If not, then it's fine. Or if you want to just leave a comment. I want to have some healthy dialogue, healthy conversation. I'm just curious though. Have you ever, other than African Americans, have you ever had a cop behind you and you automatically tense up and 10 to 2 and you're wondering, worrying, is this going to be it? Be that day? Just curious. Real talk. And I know I've asked this question before, but like I said, as things are progressing the way they are, 2020, boy, this is ridiculous. But as things are progressing as they are, I'm just curious. Are we the only ones? And I don't think. I'm waiting to see. All right, y'all. Grace.